Hey everyone! Welcome to the Bold and Beautiful 24. I'm Alessio, and I'm so excited to have you here. If you love Bold and Beautiful, then you're in the right place. Make sure to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you never miss a video. Alright, let's dive right in. Steffy makes a huge mistake as Luna waves a gun, a dangerous standoff at the beach house. I never imagined I'd find myself thinking this, but that morning had felt almost peaceful. Quiet waves lapped gently at the sand near the beach house, and the sun hung over the Pacific like a golden halo. It was a rare day of calm for Steffy Forrester. With Hayes home safe with his grandmother Taylor, she had carved out a few hours for herself to unwind at the art school, a place she'd helped design, filled with creativity, color, and a sense of hope. But that serenity was about to be shattered. Steffy had no idea what was waiting for her when she stepped inside. She certainly didn't know that Luna Nozawa was already there, lurking in the shadows of that very school, cradling something deadly in her trembling hands, a loaded gun. The same Luna who had once come across as a bit of a misfit, a lost young woman trying to make a place for herself in the complicated world of the Forresters, had turned a terrifying corner. And now, she was waiting for Steffy. Meanwhile, elsewhere in Los Angeles, Sheila Carter was in a full-blown panic. She hadn't seen her granddaughter Luna in days, at least not in the way she normally did. Luna had stopped responding to texts, stopped showing up at her job, and had been acting more erratic for weeks. Sheila knew that look, that glint in Luna's eyes. It was the same one she had seen in the mirror many times over the years. So when Sheila stormed into Steffy's house, she didn't expect to find her there. Instead, it was Taylor Hayes, poised, gentle Taylor, who opened the door. She was in the middle of babysitting little Hayes, calm as ever, but even she could see that Sheila was on the verge of losing it. "Sheila," Taylor said carefully, "you shouldn't be here." But Sheila had no time for pleasantries. "Where's Steffy?" she snapped. "Where is she, Taylor?" Taylor blinked. "She's at the art school." "Why?" That's when Sheila unleashed. "Because Luna's dangerous. And Steffy, she's in trouble." Back at the beach house, Steffy was unlocking the doors when she noticed something off. The hallway was too quiet. No sounds of students. No music playing. No sign of the teacher she'd hired to run that day's sessions. Her heart began to thud harder in her chest. "Hello," she called out. Nothing. She took a few cautious steps into the main gallery room, scanning every corner. That's when she heard it, a muffled sound. A whimper. She turned and opened the closet door. The teacher was inside, bound, gagged, eyes wide with fear. And then came the voice that made Steffy's blood run cold. "Don't move." She turned slowly. There stood Luna, gun in hand, her face pale but furious, her grip trembling. Steffy's instincts kicked in immediately. Her mind raced with memories, standing up to Sheila with Finn at Il Giardino, staring down the barrel of a gun more than once in her life. But this was different. This was personal. And Luna wasn't just some stranger or outsider, she was family by marriage. Her stepson's sister. A girl who had once been welcomed into the Forrester orbit with kindness and caution. But now Luna had clearly snapped. "You just couldn't leave it alone, could you?" Luna growled, stepping forward. "You couldn't stop poisoning everyone against me. Especially Finn." Steffy raised her hands slowly. "Luna, you don't want to do this. I understand you're upset, but..." "Upset?" Luna's voice cracked. "You've ruined everything. I love him. I want a relationship with my father. But you keep getting in the way. You never gave me a chance." "I tried," Steffy said softly, carefully watching Luna's shaking hands. "Maybe not enough. I'll admit that. But this isn't the way to fix it." Luna's eyes narrowed. "Don't lie to me. You never wanted me around. And now you're going to pay for it." Meanwhile, Sheila was already racing toward the beach house. She'd taken Taylor's reluctant tip and jumped in her car without a second thought. She didn't trust the cops. She didn't trust anyone else to stop Luna but herself. If Luna was about to do something that couldn't be undone, Sheila had to be the one to stop it, no matter what it took. Back inside, Steffy's heart was pounding so hard she was sure Luna could hear it. Every instinct told her to run, to duck, to grab the gun. But she knew one wrong move could set Luna off. And worse, the teacher, still tied up in the closet, might also become a victim. "Luna," she said again, her voice quieter this time. "I know you're hurt. And you're angry. I didn't always handle things with you the right way. I've made mistakes." That seemed to catch Luna off guard. She blinked. "You're admitting that?" "Yes," Steffy said, taking a small step forward. "I didn't treat you with grace. I let my protectiveness of Finn blind me. But I never wanted this. I never wanted you to feel like you had no choice." But Luna wasn't moved. "You're just saying that because I have the gun." "No," Steffy whispered. "I'm saying it because it's true." Then, suddenly, the front door burst open. "Luna!" Sheila's voice rang through the room like a thunderclap. "Put the gun down, sweetheart." Luna whirled toward her, startled. What are you doing here?" "I came to help you," Sheila said, stepping in, hands raised. "You don't have to do this. No one has to get hurt. You don't know what it's like." Luna screamed. "You've always been insane. They call you a monster. Maybe I'm just your granddaughter after all." Sheila's expression softened. "You're nothing like me. You're better than this. But you have to let go. Let her go." The tension was unbearable. Steffy stood frozen, her eyes darting between Luna and Sheila, praying someone would step in. That someone would get through. That was the moment everything changed. Luna's finger twitched. It happened so fast that even Steffy, who had faced down danger more times than she could count, couldn't process what had just occurred. The deafening sound of the gunshot shattered the air like glass, echoing through the high ceilings of the art studio. For a split second, everything went still. Then time seemed to lurch forward in jagged, frantic motion. The smell of smoke, the sharp cry of someone falling, and the horrifying sight of Sheila Carter collapsing to the floor, clutching her stomach, blood already soaking through her shirt. "No!" Luna screamed, the gun falling from her hand and clattering onto the polished wood floor. Her face crumpled in a mix of disbelief and anguish as she dropped to her knees beside Sheila. "Grandma, I didn't mean to. I didn't mean." Steffy stood in stunned silence for a moment, her limbs frozen with shock. But then instinct kicked in. She rushed forward, dropping down next to Sheila, who was gasping, her eyes fluttering wildly. "Sheila, stay with me," Steffy said, pressing her hands against the wound. "We're going to get help. You hear me? Just breathe." Sheila's face was pale, far paler than Steffy had ever seen. For all her years of villainy and chaos, the woman lying in front of her now looked heartbreakingly human. Vulnerable. Fragile. Like someone's mother. Someone's grandmother. Luna was sobbing now, her hands shaking violently as she hovered beside them. "I didn't mean to shoot her," she whispered, over and over. "It was an accident. I swear. I just wanted to scare you. I wasn't going to pull the trigger." Steffy looked up at her, her own eyes wide with disbelief and growing anger. "You brought a gun into a school, Luna. You tied up a teacher. You pointed that thing at me. And now Sheila, your own grandmother, is bleeding out in front of us." "I know," Luna cried, her whole body trembling. "I know I screwed up. I was just so mad. You ruined everything with Finn. You turned him against me." The sirens were getting closer now. Someone, probably a neighbor or someone driving by, must have heard the shot. And thank God for that. Within minutes, paramedics burst through the front doors. The scene they walked into was pure chaos, blood pooling beneath Sheila, a teacher still tied up in the closet, Luna crying uncontrollably in the corner, and Steffy trying desperately to keep calm while helping the woman who had once tried to kill her. "Gunshot wound to the abdomen," Steffy told the medics as they worked quickly, stabilizing Sheila. "She's conscious, but barely." The teacher was found and quickly released. She was shaken but unharmed. Another team of responders approached Luna, now curled into a ball on the floor, completely dazed. "She's the one who fired the weapon," Steffy said, her voice cold, resolute. Luna looked up, her eyes wide with betrayal. "You're turning me in?" "You shot someone," Steffy replied. "You're lucky it wasn't me, or the teacher, or yourself." As the paramedics wheeled Sheila out on a gurney, Luna was taken into custody, handcuffed gently but firmly by the officers on scene. Even as they led her away, she kept twisting to look over her shoulder, eyes locked on the woman she had shot. "I didn't mean to do it," she said one last time. "Tell Finn I didn't mean it." The hospital, a storm of emotions. Word travels fast in the Forrester universe, especially when it involves gunshots, Sheila Carter, and the Finnegan family. By the time Sheila arrived at the hospital, barely clinging to consciousness, Finn had already been paged. He rushed out of surgery mid-procedure handoff, pulling off his gloves with trembling hands. "What happened?" he demanded the moment he spotted Steffy in the ER hallway. "Where is she?" "She's in surgery," Steffy said, her voice steady but emotionally raw. "Luna shot her." "Finn, I was there. I saw it." Finn's eyes widened in horror. "Luna, my sister. What do you mean she shot her?" "It was a mistake," Steffy said, her voice thick. "She brought a gun to the art school. She was waiting for me. She tied up Hayes' teacher. She was completely unhinged. Sheila showed up and tried to talk her down, and then the gun went off." Finn leaned against the wall, his chest heaving. He looked as though someone had just torn the ground out from under him. "Where's Luna now?" he finally asked. "In police custody." He closed his eyes. God. Just then, Bridget Forrester and Lee Finnegan arrived, summoned urgently to assist in the operating room. As the doctors scrubbed in, the mood was tense. Even the seasoned medical professionals in that room couldn't ignore the gravity of what had happened. Sheila Carter, the woman who had terrorized so many of them, was now their patient. And the girl who shot her? One of their own.